Getting the announcements out here. Yo, yo, yo. I can't tell if this is on or not. Let me know if you're rolling in. Getting a little bit of a latency issue. Oh, there we go. I see you guys. Need some chapstick up in this piece, man. Anybody out here ready for the snowstorm or what? Let's get some charts up here, huh? What's everybody trading today? I had no trade today. I had no trade yesterday. My system just front run today a little bit. I think. Let me just double check that. Yep. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, TRDR? What's up, Caden? That's you, right, buddy? I think I can see your little profile pic. I don't have my little light on here. Multi-guest request. I'm gonna pass on that, pal. So my plan today was pretty simple. I was looking for a sweep of previous. That's ETH. And it happened on ETH beautifully. I got to figure out how multi-chart works a little better for myself here. So I was looking for a sweep of previous day high or previous day low, but we came up bullishly engulfing, so we didn't take that. Oh my, was I looking at the wrong chart? Did Binance take this? And I was on the wrong chart. Oh no, it didn't. Perps, futures. Oh, that's MEXC. Here's Binance. I had that MEXC up. Did I screw my own system up today? Oh no, it ran on Binance. Wait, did it? Oh boy. Well, look at these wicks, brother. It front ran on Binance. Not by much. I can't get it any bigger to the dollar here. We'll look at the actual candle numbers here in a second. So higher than this one, low was 88,408, and low on this one was 88,408. 408. It was identical? It doesn't look identical. Maybe it was identical. You can see it up here when you hover over the candle. The open price. Oh, you can't see this because of the TikTok thing. But if you follow my mouse cursor up here into this heading, it's open, high, and low. You just hover over the candle to see those. So the low was 88,408, and then the low was 88,408 even. Identical lows on Binance. So technically, I don't know what I would have done with that in real time. I probably would have watched. So probably still wouldn't have taken the trade, but I think I had MXC on my other chart, and I did. And this front ran it by quite a bit. Anyways, the play was to sweep the low of the previous day, or the high, and then take the reversion play. And this front ran by like 150 bucks. So we're going to go ahead and switch that back to the top. I had to rebuild my list the other day. If you guys remember me accidentally accidentally deleted my watch list in real time. The computer just lagged and screwed me. Boy, if we would have grabbed this though. Let's see what this would have looked like on RR. It didn't front run it on the lower time frame. I'm so confused. Anyways, it had a nice SFP as well. Damn. Is that Mexi again? It is Mexi again. What am I doing? There it is. Boom, boom. And some immediate absorption in this candle in the 5. Alright, let's play this. This is wonky, dude. So from the low to the high was a 0.3. Back to the high. 3.5 points. And if you zoom out to the hour here, the hour high. Man. I guess I had a chance to get in several times here on back tests. I know I lost one play this week and then I started taking it easy. Quiet crowd today? Everybody just quiet on a Tuesday? Kid, and you out in that snow area? I can't remember where you were. Maybe you were in Florida. And we got a fresh one here. So next play we're planning out on Bitcoin. Fresh breakdown. If this doesn't just run away. Got ourselves a beautiful fair value there somewhere we're gonna find. So we get the back test in. Look for the shift and the continuation. Otherwise, this just goes higher and then fills locally. Here's more local. I'm not even hateful of filling that whole 4-hour one. Hours getting oversold. We just don't want this to be a head and shoulders. So, right, what's the counter pattern to what we're looking here for the breakout? So initiation, mitigation, continuation. Breakout back test. Anybody wants to see something, certainly let me know. What's up, Gotti? I'm just looking at Bitcoin at the moment, the breakout today, where we missed the long, but it's been a kind of a shiesty week since this breakdown. Yeah, Indian's a bit different than India. What's up, brother? Hop in Discord, man. What's up, Mars? What's going on come January 27th? So I think Bitcoin's getting the break. Let's just go see if other things are following. So Ethereum will be the next one we want to see. So Ethereum with the back test. It is the weekend, so stranger things have happened. The break. The SFP of the daily low. Let's just double check that's the daily. Easy. Easy plays. Check Sol. Sol SFPs yesterday's previous daily low. It's like this strategy works on everything. What's this? Ondo. Ondo did not SFP yesterday's daily low. But it did before the initial move. SP pipe quick. Pipe SFP the daily low. Man. Look at that, ADA. SFP the daily low. Previous daily low. Morpheus did not. NZD. Let's take a peek, brother. Is that a stock or a crypto? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the New Zealand. A dollar to the dollars. It's Forex, baby. So we're bottoming. I like the bottom. Let's just fix this chart here for the widescreen aberration. Let's go back to NZD. Oh, futures are not pretty. Let's go ahead and switch it to a ticker. What is going on here? NZD. There we go. Going on to the weekly, see what our weekly look like. So we like the SFP the weekly before we get the real move. So I know this is almost a year ago. February 2025, we did SFP the weekly. And then we did break structure on the weekly. And then we started coming down for a correction. So the weekly right now is holding a higher low. And it is shifting structure again. So current low. So we got a higher low. We got a high. And here's the internal shift the structure we need. So I think liquidity is probably built in back here at about 60 cents. This is not me telling you to long it. What I do is I formulate a plan and then I zoom in looking for that plan to execute. So back into that weekly low. We had a daily break structure. So we know expectation of order flow is heading to the upside, potentially filling every one of these previous highs. And then this third one. So we've had 2 TPs already. So I'm going to go back to the daily in a second. But I'm going to look for an earlier shift here on the 4 hour. And we had it. Right. So here's your shift the structure even earlier. The back test, the continuation. So the entry here for me would have been here. So where did this close? Right there. And then the bottom of that candle on the 4 hour. And then I would have been TP1. This is set to 25x. So it would have been 6.5, 17.5, 21. Is there a higher one? Yeah, one more. Now let's just see if we had an entry area. So once we get this break of structure confirmation, we want to see the fib pull back into the area from the break, particularly into the 0.50. Lagging a little bit there. So here we had another entry with a break. That was an SFP of the daily low. Here, look. This is why we like daily low SFPs, right? Previous daily lows. So previous daily low, SFP, full engulfing. Second, this 4 hour candle, you probably could have got a better entry in the 1 hour. You know, 0.15 pip stops. Laughable. And then back to range high for the play for 11% on account. But we still have potentially lower there. So let's get that fib back out. Did we get the golden pockets? Typically where you want to get. And we did. Here's GP. And again, man, I think the bread and butter for everybody is stop overcomplicating things. If you get these daily SFPs, these things are easy, man. Even if you took like the previous day SFP, you're still capturing money here. You have no reason not to give it back to the market. So if you took this one, we're going to get to the where it's at now. We're just kind of working our way forward. It would have been back to range high, because if you hold the low, you take the high. And then we knew if that broke structure, it was probably going to continue until like the 4-hour high up here. So you're running at an 8.5% on that guy. So here's your shift again on the 4. Here's your shift again on the 4. And now we're shifting again on the 4. Wow, we're kind of in breakout mode here. So back out to the daily. So we're in the gap, right? So now we're in kind of no trade territory. We're back in premium. Not necessarily looking for a short until we get some sort of structure shift and then a break. And we're just entertaining the pump now back up into this high. So the only way I would entertain a new long is if it came back to me, right? So we have a nice demand chain formed here. So here's demand chain 1. Breakout. Back test. Continuation. It's just all it's doing. So we had another breakout. Now the question is, do we come back and back test? So let's redo this fib. From previous low to current high. And maybe this keeps coming higher, right? And see if this stalls like just somewhere up in random territory and leaves all this liquidity over here, you could entertain the short. We just would have to see the structure shift. But let's just pretend this is the top for the day. And then I'm looking to probably take, you know, whatever kind of back test this is going to give me again. So do we have to come back in and codify our new buy zone? You got the 0.50 fib there. Let's see if this lines up with something better on the hour chart. So this was really our last consolidation zone. I think if we refine this, we're going to get something right here. So you got to let the idea come to you. So we get to the top of the range here. We're looking for... what's above this yet? Let's just take a look at the weekly. It's like it just keeps going, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go back in here. So we gotta actually move here too. Yeah, I think this target even takes us higher. I'll be looking for a back test, brother. You know, somewhere at this 58 cents, 58.3. Right? What's the game plan here? Wait till this gets a pullback. Right? So you're watching, let's just say this is 4-hour chart. Right? It's doing that. It's current. This 4-hour candle's doing this, right? It's way up here. So we're watching for the 4-hour to do this and then continue. Right? But let me explain what you're looking for. So you have this nice curve set up now, right? And the 4-hour candle is currently here. You're looking for it to back test here. And then you're watching for the hour to do this as it comes down, right? Hour comes up. It breaks structure down. It breaks structure down. It breaks structure down, right? It finds that bottom and then the hour breaks structure back up, right? But the 4-hour never loses structure. And then when that hour re-breaks, you have that long set up for potential continuation past the high it just put in. right? And then all the way to the top of the range. So you'd be looking like something like this. And then wherever it ends up shifting, all the way back to the top of the range. And then again, right, this could be the continuation breakout, and then it comes all the way back up here. But this looks like a W pattern to me. You know, just a simple bang bang. You got a 260 put or a 620 put today, QQQ. Yeah, we got a couple things here to line up. We'll do QRL as well. Canton Network CC, we'll get to that here in a second as well. But let's just do QQQ since it's popular. We had some ideas drawn up for Qs. I don't know where my Qs went. There it is. Let's see what happened last time we looked at this. So we were looking to have a continuation short, but we were talking, this was the Trump day, right? And we said you can't really count on Trump's market structure to do anything. So you got let's see what you were doing. You got to put, so you're short at 620. I think you look okay so far. Let's check our structure. I think we're back test territory. See me down here at about 616. We filled that fair value beautifully. Let's see what the targets are today. Let's go ahead and zoom back out here just 1 second. So here is daily. We did not take daily low. We are SFP and potentially daily high, and we are filling in a breaker here on the 4. Probably we are. So we got a nice ceiling here forming. Honestly, dude, I think if we break above this on the 4 hour, you just close. So on this trend line, if we get a 4 hour fully engulfing, you're just out. All right, so you get a candle that looks like this. Except it's green, not red. Otherwise, we're looking for this BART to continue to the downside. So let's go to the hour chart. Let's look at New York quick. So we have structure shifts on the hour, the 15 minute the whole way up. Structure shift 1, shift 2, shift 3. Here's your low. So now you got an even tighter curve here, right? And we have kind of a shoulder head shoulder on the oscillator. 1 hour's looking that way too. So it looks like we are getting reacceptance back into the range here. So here's the last resistance, 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 resistance. Deviation of range. Continuation to range. So as long as we stay back in below this 622 area, I think you're good for lower. I mean, we're in that area where we would have took the short here at the top about 625, 624. So you're not in a terrible area if you're 620. You maybe took it like right here as it was coming down. So you got to give it a little bit of back test, right? So even if you're on the 15-minute local structure, here's your old resistance, right? So support, 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 clean execution down. So, you know, if I'm looking for a measured move here, I'm looking for a break of the liquidity move or liquidity curve. So here's deviation 1. And then we got a tighter deviation here that we're fighting with a break. Right? So I'm looking for this to come to fruition. So shoulder, head. I'm looking for this to come all the way down, back test, and then continue. If it's gonna break bearish, right? If it's not gonna break bearish, it probably holds this low right here at 618, 75 cents, and bounces and continues back over the top. So I would maybe even look for it like this, right? So just like this. So all the way down, find the dead cat bounce here. Hopefully it gets rejected from this range it's putting in right here. Comes down, breaks the larger range, and then just continues to get the supply side whacked the whole way down. So then you have this range it comes into, and then you reject from that range. And then you have this range it created, then you reject from that range. So if it's going to remain bearish, that's what I'm looking for if you're already in the short position. To give you the... let me just share this with chart. This is a pretty good setup, so I'm just going to share this in Discord quick. If you guys are not in Discord, the link is in TikTok there in the bio. Just head over to the website, click the join Discord button, create a free account, learn how to trade. The courses over there are free. We're not trying to get anything out of you. We tells you how we trade daily. We trade in New York live every single day in Discord as well. The premium side of Discord has a fee. But just to keep the riffraff out, we are full-time traders. So let's just go into another time frame here and see if we can't. Let me just put this in a folder here. Create group. There we go. I apologize. I'm just mess with the object tree on the other side here. All right, now I should be able to just turn all this off. There we go. And we can bring it back. There we go. Okay, so that's good. Let's look at the bearish scenario, or the bullish scenario here is we don't break this lower low. So we put the head and shoulders in, institutions hold demand, and then we break back up, and this is a bull flag, right? So something like this. So invalidation would be breaking above 622.26. So here would be the new shift the structure up. And then we got something like this. And then we're at 630. And we're potentially breaking back up into all-time highs. And daily jive with that idea? Not really. Does the 8-hour jive with that idea? Not really. 4 hours kind of up in the air to me. Hour does not really go with that idea. So I'm still biased short here, at least for a little bit, to test this 618 level. Watch that roll downhill. 15-minute fair value. Yeah, you got this. This is the demand zone you got to eat up, right? This right here. So you bounced once off of it. You know, you're trying to hold that fair value gap. You haven't filled it. The issue for that is we're in major resistance. So if we're looking at the broader context here, you know, we're in an area where historically on the daily, on the weekly, resistance, 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 broke structure to the downside, broke 4-hour structure downside here too, and we're just bearishly retesting, right? The bull flag's there. You can see it. It's got a measured move over the top, but until it proves you can get over here, I mean, I'd remain maybe short from where you're at. If you didn't get a better entry a little higher. Can it go to 620? I think it's in the cards here today. It's just rolling over. All right. You got to watch these little micro ranges. So it's bouncing from the 5-minute low, so it didn't break. I mean, it broke 5-minute once, but it didn't break the low that made the high. So now we have a new high. And potentially, if you want to invalidate in the 5-minute, I mean, you're here, right? Right now, I'm assuming this is going to roll over and retest this one more time. Appreciate the follow, man. 1,136 followers on TikTok. I appreciate it. What do you think about ORB opening range break? I don't trade ORB, man. I know successful people. I don't overcomplicate it. It's similar to what I do. I just don't use all the steps. I'm just looking for liquidity taken on the daily top or bottom of the previous day, and that's it. And then watching the shifts out, right? There's a lot more nuance to ORB traders. So, I mean, technically I would be, just SFP, CDW trader. Let me see here. Let's go back. Let's grab another ticker. Let's pull one from YouTube here quick. QRL. Am I looking at the right thing here? Missouri Holdings? Let me know. That is not worth looking at. That is not right. Is it a crypto? Quantum resistance ledger? This is dead. This is not something I would touch with a 10-foot pole. Ooh, damn. It's a weekly breakout. Why is liquidity so thin? Is this the right? Am I looking at the right thing? Look how thin this liquidity is. Yep, that's right. Let me move it over to a crypto chart instead of a stock chart. Let me just give me a second here. I'm going to have to quantify this a little bit with market cap. I mean, it's only got 56K of volume. This is why it's so explosive. Right? So if I'm looking at what's going on here, here's the daily low. Here's the high. We have not taken that. We are fading. And we're putting in bearish divergences with it. So this is a super volatile project. The market cap is super low. I would not be touching this probably with leverage unless you are seasoned. Weekly's getting resistance as well. Weekly's putting in a bearish divergence as well. So we have a lower volume on a higher high. That is classic bearish divergence. Let me see if this may be a little off frames here for a second. I'm just going to pull some info. It's not even on. Yeah, I really don't like this at all, man. As far as a buy, I think this just eats a rug here soon. I'm zooming into the 4 hour, right? 4 hours already breaking structure. 4 hour break. So my target is down here, back at that weekly daily low, until it shifts above $3 again. Please don't bag hold this back to zero, would be my suggestion. That QQQ pattern we were looking at right here, this head and shoulders pattern is playing out, right? It broke, it back tested, the continuation would be down. Measured move for this, pretty easy. Liquidations are bringing us back into this sub at $2.40, 235, 237 looks like the target before the next bounce. And that would be the last grasp here at grabbing this old break. I'm probably going to post this in Discord as a short. This is on MEXC as a perp chart. See, when you get in the 15-minute here and these wicks look like this, dude, it's just nobody actually owns this. You got a bunch of influencers that are pushing this, I'm sure, and they're selling into strength right now, and it's going to come down. My suggestion is get rid of this if you're already up. 99% of these cryptos die. Maybe it comes back up for another whatever, but at this point in time, you're at the bottom of the support again, so that maybe you get a bounce right here, but if it comes with a folding gulf below 267, I am out skis. Yeah, it's on some exchanges. I saw it. It's just super light, dude. When 56k of volume, 18k of volume on MEXC pushes this thing 50%. Let's look at another one here. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be an accredited investor sold this to you. I'm not sure what to say about that. Pattern screams down. Pretty Barty here. You got a larger move here as well. I'll give you the bear case or the bull case, right? If we lose this like $1.80, $2 area, it's probably over for this. It's going to zero. I mean, here's your bull case. You build this flag out on the daily, on the 4 hour, something like this, and this curve doesn't actually break, it just moves sideways and you get some accumulation. Yeah, I mean, potentially does something like this, right? Back up to $5, not back up to $5, but break out the $5, and it could do that, right? The liquidity is so thin in this, it could go another 50%, another 100%. Locally, I'd be looking for shorts though, but this thing moves hard, right? You know, some of these wicks are more than, I mean, I wouldn't be touching this thing with 20x leverage with a 1 minute wick that can take you out of it, completely liquidate you. It'd be 2 or 3x, and then build a position. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I don't. Look, if you learned anything in the last couple years, man, 99.99999% of these altcoins just go to zero. Show me one meme coin that's not below launch. Show me one project started at some kid's basement that's not below launch price. Show me one celebrity influencer coin that's not below launch price that hasn't been rugged. You can make a lot more money shorting altcoins these days than buying them long. UNH. I think we just looked at that 2 days ago. I think I bought this based on that. What we did. Pull the stock chart here. I did buy this based on what we saw the other day. So my last stream was Tuesday the 20th. We talked about this full engulf SFP on the previous daily chart. And I bought this close right here at about 338 over on E-Trade. And I'm out. Top of the range. 380, 381 is TP1. But the thing about United Healthcare here is this could potentially go a lot harder, right? So I'm not necessarily in love with the pattern, but what we did like originally was the weekly liquidity was cleaned. There's nothing down here left at the weekly. And if there's going to be a continuation break, it's typically going to be from the 0.50 or the golden pocket here, right? So we had a break structure on the weekly. We had a mitigation of the fair value gap on the weekly into a beautiful discount zone. Just tapped discount briefly here before the 0.50. And if we're looking at expectational order flow to the upside, the target pretty easy is going to be 380, right? And the agreements on that would be, you know, potentially, right? We get up here, we find a little bit of resistance. You know, the 4 hour chop sideways. You know, we create that model 3, which is going to be, you know, what people know is like a cup and handle, right? We were correct back down into this curve, something like this. Let's get rid of this guy here, and we come all the way up. We tap liquidity again. We get a little bit of a pullback. We take all the late longs out of the weekly break again, and then we run it higher. And if we do that, it's going to go for like 480 or 458, right? And that area is pretty natural resistance as well because it is the old auction house, right? Support, break a structure, and the support actually went all the way out here. Support. Right, so the danger here is we come up, we fill these fair value gaps on the weekly, and then it's over, and then it just dumps again. So closing above 440 is a very, very, very big level here on this fully engulfing weekly chart. The downside here is this is still a bear flag that we just work our way back up to the top of the range here, and this parallel channel starts to fail on us, and we put that head and shoulders pattern in. So we get that break structure above the weekly chart, right? We get the back test of that weekly. It fails, falls back into our previous range, breaks our liquidity curve for our demand chain, and then we get stuck on a supply chain and we break the low and go lower. I don't know if United Healthcare is in that position. It is way beaten up. It had the whole assassination thing. It had a very nice correction. My guess would be it remains bullish here unless there's reasons for the entire market to come down geopolitically. But I like the way this is going. I picked some of this up personally. I'm not telling you where to buy it or where to sell it. My stop loss is simply down here about 300 bucks even. I mean, I'll trade Solana, but I'm not bagging any altcoins, dude. Solana had a nice bounce as well today. I believe it took the daily low, previous daily low, and just ran. It did. So we are watching the key level on Solana, previous daily low, SFP'd, and we're getting a run up. So if it comes back down and closes below 125.25, it's probably dead cat bounce. This is just trading view. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Gotti. I know thin liquidity when I see them, and I know how these projects launch their coins and promote them, so I know nothing about it besides just what history tells me about how these projects work. Let's see what the... I think I accidentally deleted that today. That's S&P. Oh, I moved it. I drugged it. So it kind of did exactly what Bitcoin did. It front ran the daily low, which I don't particularly like. I think they always come back for them. So let's take a look quick at the hour chart. So SPY had a break structure. It had the back test and the continuation and the next break and new daily low. Honestly, this is ripe for the taking down here. So we just gap filled to the upside, which we talked about in Discord. So daily had a break to the downside. And it's tough. I think, like, I don't want to be the guy that says, hey, look, this looks like a top on the S&P, or excuse me, on the SPY. And... but I'll say it right now, order flow looks like it's coming lower. I mean, we're in a bull flag, right? So this is a pretty easy invalidation of this idea. But let's walk it out. right? So we had that daily break structure, which was right here. We have a mitigation phase going on here. So the back test before we get the continuation phase. We have a pretty easy invalidation of this idea of just breaking above current easy liquidity curve here. And we get a measure move in the all-time highs. We're cracking 700 and we're moving, right? We're on the hour. So our high, our low is in. I mean, we're trading between probably 0.5% here, right? Yep, exactly 0.5%. I think if you shift up, you're looking for the continuation. So structure comes up, it shifts, it breaks clean. I think we just run the curve out. I would be more willing to bet it closes down here at some point. And then CME gaps down into fair value. And then we continue down next week potentially. But we have a clean invalidation of that idea, right? I mean, this is a bear flag. So here. So 666. Hate to be that guy. But remember, this could be invalidated in the next 15 minutes. It could just close over here, get a nice pop, and just run away. We're getting a bit of oversoldness potentially here, and the daily's already coming down. 4 hours topping. 2 hours topping, and hour looks a little weak. I should have did this on the other chart to get the volume, but this would be just a little barding to me. Right? You don't want this to go on too long because odds are it's going to come right down. You want to get a nice breakout here before probably power hour today. Look, I'm not long in the top, man. I would need, like, the long was down here, right? Fundamentally with trading, what do you do on a daily basis? You buy low, you sell high, right? I don't long the top and then hope it breaks. At the top of these resistance areas, I'm only really entertaining shorts. Let me pull up a text here real quick. And if you got any tickers, let me know. There we go. If anybody's got nothing off the top of their head here, I'm going to go ahead and just do some things. So let me look at this chart on the other monitor here. We are SFPing previous daily high on Bitcoin right now. So that ain't good. I still got some organizing to do on my charts here. Whew, look at that. We front ran the low. We got the high. See if we can hold the back test here. Also look a little stronger. ETH getting the break. Just another lower high here, unfortunately, so far. Let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal came back for the gap, huh? It did. So spot previous daily low. And we didn't quite fill the gap, but we tapped into it. AMD getting the rejection off the weekly. We talked about this the other day too. Waiting for AMD. So we built this plan out on Tuesday. Right? You know, minor adjustment to our chart here, but we were waiting for accumulation to come up into our weekly level. We had the measure move saying we were coming up higher into weekly. Off this bull flag, off this continuation. Structure was building higher lows the whole way up. And we are targeting weekly high liquidity. Even if you just took the SFP on this weekly chart, man. Look. Right on the close. Here's even this one was weekly high. It's cheated up a little bit there too. And what happens when we look for it? We zoom in. This is the weekly daily level. We're looking for a shift of structure. Shift break on the 15. Mitigation of the back test pretty high. But the minute this back test fails, 15-minute shift of structure again. There's no reason it should go any higher than that previous wick. So the question is, does it break the curve, or do we come down and get a full sweep here for about 5%? I mean, some of these overblown pieces look like they still come down a little bit. And if you got this wick, man, whew. It's crazy. Even if you got this wick. We're all about the same stop loss, though. So here we are looking for the continuation for the breakout here. Arrow pointing up. Circle, break, continuation. What's QQQ doing? Still hanging on, huh? 15 minutes still looks weak. Pretty easy decision here now. I mean, even this could be troublesome. Wouldn't Bitcoin be a quantum resistant ledger? Pretty sure it would be. That's all it is a ledger. Getting a 15-minute internal break, top of the range, 6. I mean, this is going to be target again if we get a nice close here. Yeah, let's take a look at gold. So gold in all-time highs. Got a daily break. Got a fair value fill. So let's just zoom out, make sure this is a daily break. It is not, it's daily continuation. Man, gold is just running. Gold's gonna beat ETH to 5K. Ah! $22 short. Or $12 short. I mean, there's no daily correction play there for me. Last 4-hour break. Trying to figure out if this just keeps pumping. I mean, we're not even like getting natural pullbacks anywhere. I think you gotta probably just take it from the candle that broke it. Still not even reaching 0.50. There's really no trades in here for me. It's just going hard, man. And 4-hour low is still about 47.50. How far away is that? Like 7%, 8%? 5%. So hour low is here. Hour break structure. So we just had a 15-minute break structure. Let's see if we're putting bearish divergence in. We are. Well, here's the bull case. Even on the intraday here, you know, we get a continuation pattern. Gold just keeps pushing. I can't bet against that. It's just up only mode. And we're up above 5K, pushing 5,060. And this flag just breaks to the upside. I mean, if we're looking for the short, we're there too, right? Let's go in a little further here. So 5-minute high to beat, pretty simple. 5-minute low to beat, pretty simple, nice and tight. Gives us a 0.22% stop loss. Maybe we take a trade on this. So 2-minute to 5-minute line. I don't have my volume. Give me 1 second here. So liquidity low swept. This might be worth a trade. 122. I'm just looking for my exchange here. Give me a second. No, come on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play it. Oh. Seeds order amount. Fuck. Seeds order amount. Oh, there it went. All right, we're gonna watch this actually pretty close here. So we get a break right over structure here and continue. We're watching. I mean, gold's been nothing but tearing, so betting against it's not ideal. Took me a second to figure out the lot sizes. We've had no VWAP reversion yet today. Man, Bitcoin falling hard back into the range. So we're hoping for it to make a lower high here. A series of 3. Gold almost 5K. That is insane. We do have a little bit of a just an upside down model one here, right? Shoulder to shoulder. Gold never ceases to amaze, man. And validation is just simply losing this. There we go. Come on. Man, end of the week here. Tired. Anybody else feeling it? Anybody got that snow coming towards them? What's everybody out there? Where's he all live? What close do I think the SPY is going to close at? It's tough, dude. We're watching gold here for the second. There it goes. Right over. I've attempted the short gold a couple times the last couple weeks and it's not worked out well. Long continuation longs is usually where you want to be. I mean, SPY's still beating his head against this previous auction we can't get into. Right? So here's that old range. All right, so we got POC here. Deviation below, back to value area high. Deviation above, back to value area low, back to value area high. So again, we're if we get caught below this area right here, 691, it's just gonna come down. You know, we have the chain so far to move up. Right, so we're low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we're looking for this to fail to give us the indication that we could come lower. Otherwise, we're just bull flagging out and we just start visiting those highs again, right? So it could be something as simple as just getting back over this with strength and running all-time highs. So we're looking for the structure to shift, right? When structure shifts and we put a lower high in, here's a high, lower high, lower high, equal high, higher high. We're looking for it to shift back down now. We were looking at just a minute ago, and we're in that block area where it broke structure in the 5-minute, right? So we had that little micro range here with support, 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 lost it. Resistance, 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 resistance. You know, held this as a higher low, And this was the area we needed to get back above soundly. So again, if we roll down through this, we're probably just going right back down to the low. And maybe it gets a bounce again at the low, and we just continue to move sideways. It's pretty easy to be jaded as a original crypto trader because everything's easy to short. All those altcoins do nothing but go down, man. Just down. And gold getting that little bit of that rejection at the top of the range again. Thanks for the follow, brother. So 5 minute shift internally still. Well, we're not the right chart now. Still haven't broken curve, right? Licked it. No bullish break. Getting oversold again. My brother having a tough week out there. Barton sideways on the one. And even the 1 minute just holding it, right? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So even the shift in the one could be a sign. Equal high, S&P the high. I took a position on this, so we'll see what happens. I don't give signals, brother. I'll teach you how to trade. I'll teach you how to fish. I gave you my idea for the short, and I gave you the invalidation for it, so it's up to you if you want to take that play. And gets the breakthrough here, I'll probably just pop in. That was the wrong button. You saw my cam there. Looking for Spotify. And we're going to look for a sweep of 49.60. If it loses us. Still holding. Took me a minute to figure out my lot sizes. I apologize. I lost YouTube. There we go. I mean, if you're looking at gold, I'm looking short. But it has a very clean invalidation, right? It pops back over this. It's clean. It shifts down. It probably keeps going here. It's failing to take the high. We only got a little bit here on the market. I'm not a daily gold trader, so I'm a daily BTC trader. Usually swing long on these positions. Although gold's not giving us a single entry in the weekly. Nor silver for that matter in months. Besides just continuation breaks. And not the type of trader I am, unfortunately. Any other tickers out there, let me know. We'll go through them. Again, we can step on this, but it looks like this. One minute smoked. Man, Bitcoin just giving it back, bro. Let's look for a sweep and a continuation. So that $5,000 area, pretty psychological for resistance as well. We're looking at spot chart. It did not hit it on the spot. Wait, did it hit it on the spot chart? It did not hit it on the spot chart. But for running on that little bit is not unusual. Definitely looking Barty. It's kind of mean to say that the gold in general, though. Could really just go. We gotta change this though. 17 of you guys in here. Pretty quiet. Got a ticker, let me know. Crypto, stocks, commodities. Just a chill Saturday stream. We're not doing anything too hard here today. We'll be planning for Monday, Sunday night in Discord. 6 p.m. EST for the CME group. That would be with myself, Donkey, in Discord. Tag me if you come in. Links for those are over in the description. Just hit the About Us section on YouTube and just hit the About Us section or in the top of the profile on TikTok. There's a free set of the Discord. One class a week is free for the free folks who want to come in. That is with me. And then there are 2 other courses. Well, I guess tomorrow might be canceled due to some weather issues. Ben's had a tough week out there with water main break-in to the freezing cold. Got snow coming, and I think his daughter's car was just jacked up from the weather. So Saturday afternoon's group may be canceled, but we do a Wednesday night as well for the paid folks. Trade live New York every single day. Head over to tacticaledgetrading.com. tacticaledgetraders.com. Our Discord link and our actual URL are not the same. Free courses over here, how we trade. These are very well done from Ben. Go ahead, enter the portal, create an account. You'll find the Discord link there as well. Again, the free side of Discord, just come talk to us. Tag myself at Donkey or Ben or Eddie. Eddie is Unfair Philly. We're sitting on gold right now watching. Silver and gold up, BP. They just keep going up. It looks like it wants to break up. Does it just come up and keep going? It's tough to short these, man. Any kind of short idea just gets stomped. Are we going to make it through this curve on the 15 and get this measure moved? Do we just keep rocketing over all-time highs and we start moving away above 5K? The bull flag work out here. We'll see. Right, here's the flag. Here's your pole. Here's your measure move. No trigger for the short. We were watching for it. Didn't even get a shift of structure on the 30-second chart. That's what we were sitting there watching. Still well above VWAP. This would be the new invalidation for the short idea. We'd be looking to take higher liquidity if we break above this. I'm not sure bias. I'm just looking at what the chart shows me right this second. I had the larger measure move for the breakout here. Both ideas are there. Gotta let it tell you something, man. I don't just jump into anything. If we had some kind of shit, like I said, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. Here's currently the higher high on like the super zoomed in perspective here, right? But that's not changing a whole lot even based on the 15-minute chart. 15 minutes up here. But if we start shifting order structure, like if we came down here and broke this low when it was sitting here, we would be entertaining short just locally, you know, back down to some kind of support zone. If we lose that, you know, we're targeting lower back down here. They're not huge moves, but with enough leverage, they are profitable moves. So we'll see if we get a long entry. It's tough to take anything like that into the lowest volume of the week on Friday afternoon, but we were watching. No trade today for me, unfortunately. What's up, hi, Mr. Knight? Bay, B-A-Y? I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Bay Capital? Is it crypto? Marine Protocol? You let me know what that is, Mr. Knight. What am I looking at? There's gold breaking. Well, it wicked. It did not close above. Looks like it could, though. So see how we were just patient? Didn't give us the key to enter short. Right back to the top of the range. Do we just wick back down? Do we do the same thing? Remember we had the low here. Then we moved it here. It's the high here and then just gets moved over. It's an equal high. And we come back down and then the short actually comes into play. Looks like we're pushing. Oscillators aren't really telling us much here on the 1. 5 minute looks like it could bear div out. Getting the push though. We've been watching BTC USD here pretty steadily all day. Long position was in from New York, just back to the Asia high. And if you're taking a peek, let's get off this fucking 1 minute. Excuse me, my language. This was our short key. If we zoom back out to the daily, all right. Let's get rid of some of these fibs so they're not so confusing. So here was our previous day high and our previous day low. We make it super simple for our day trading. Sweep the low, run liquidity high. It did not sweep this morning. It front ran it, unfortunately, even on Binance. Now, what it's going on is it swept daily high liquidity on the previous day candle. And it's closing back within range here, right? So 15-minute structure shift is clean. Liquidity curve is clean. And we had a fib pull here to see if we can't just put in a higher low. You know, we wanted to come back into fair value here, and that is exactly what we did towards the GP. And we'll see if we can't get back up and over here. Otherwise, we just continue to bear flag out on these higher time frames, and it's just unfortunate. So the key after taking liquidity high was to enter the short. I don't think the 5 minute gave us anything clearer. It did not. So entry was still about right here on the 5 and the 15. locally looking short. Look, it's tough, man. I still like Bitcoin for higher, but you know, it looks like crap. And if you're playing this is the higher time frame analysis, right? Is this a flag that's just going to end up failing? This is daily. You know, if we can't if we can't come back and take 107 or even like previous high we put in at 98K, it's just going to break down and go lower. Right? Crypto is not in a healthy spot. So this is what it looks like. I'm not screaming 53K right now. I like 73. There's a weekly order block out there that I like. Or a weekly low, not order block. You know, we got two really key levels I'm watching on the weekly. We have the S&P of the weekly, current weekly, at 80,500-ish, 451, I believe. And then the previous weekly, which is our strong one, at 74,661. And if we do that, the danger is even greater here, right? So look at this. Yeah, model 1 here. I thought potentially we would come down here, even come the whole way back up here, and then dump. Right? So there's lots of plays we can have. We can come back down here, sweep 74K, come all the way back here, sweep 105K, and then later in the year we continue to the downside. And that's going to set up this shoulder, head, and shoulder pattern. Somewhere in here. You know, I like SFPs on the weekly before we have continuation. And we just haven't got that, right? I mean, look at this previous week here. Let's go back into the weekly. So we had some bearish engulfing candles on the daily and the weekly coming down. Structure break on the daily. Dead cat bounce to take the high liquidity S&P, the weekly chart, and coming down. The target's still here. 74K. Doesn't mean we just break down and come there, but it's what I like, man. And we got to measure move for much lower. Crypto not in an amazing spot until it starts breaking above 98K. And it could bull trap from here, right? We could just hold this curve. You know, we get some sort of move out this top of this channel into our previous auction, which is where we had support resistance flip, right? So here was previous resistance. We broke out. We made that resistance support several times. We lost support. Now, do we come up and try that one more time? That support now turned resistance. And then we put that shoulder in. And then we come massively lower. Now, if it does this way first, I think it's immediately lower. So we get a pull like this. Right? And then we put this shoulder in here. We break out this shoulder. We get acceptance back into range. And then you got this head and shoulder down. And then I think we're probably coming straight to 74K if we come straight up to 108. Just higher time analysis. Locally has a break on the hour chart. We got to hold it, right? We got that nice retracement we were looking for. It's one level at a time, man. I only really worry about the day trade. You know, the macro higher time frames, you know, we just kind of use to lean into holding plays longer than a day. I was looking at the daily and the weekly before we just hopped back into the smaller time frame. Lots of patience. But the trade's the same every day. I mean, look at any of these assets. I don't make things complicated at all, right? I look at previous daily low. Previous daily low right here. Here's today's candle. Here's yesterday's candle. If we SFP previous day low, I'm looking for a long play that will give me some sort of indication to get back out at some point to close for profit, right? And it ran the whole way up here. And you probably had that smaller time frame shift to tell you, hey, look, stupid, get out. Right? We didn't take previous day high. We did low. Let's look at Sol. Right? Previous day low, swept, SFP, gave you an entry, did not take previous day high. Now, if we zoom into these, You know, once you get into this level, that's when we're looking for, let's do ETH. You know, once you get into this level, that's when you're zoomed in. I'm not interested in zooming in off the daily or the 4 hour until this daily low is taken. And then I'm looking for the reaction, right? So here's that daily low. What lines up with this daily low? Well, we had that little bit of deviation down here, right? And then everything else was support. So if we come down here and just wick into support, we're looking for a bullish reaction, right? Immediate return to range. Entry, pretty easy. Taking high liquidity. High liquidity in the day is Asia session, right? Or potentially New York session the day before. Altcoins do stupid things, man. You got a 0.58% stop loss. You got a risk to, not a point. Well, that is, that's kind of funny. 0.58% stop loss, and you got a 5.8 risk to reward on the trade, right? You can take it back into liquidity high, close at Asia, close at New York, or you can close at the structure shift and try to capture as much as possible. So once we had, we're looking at a 5, right? So came in, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So even if you set your stop loss at the first shift of structure here, you still captured quite a bit. You got a little more than New York, a little less than Asia. You still captured 4.13% on account. Let's see if you do Solana. Here's that daily low. Immediate return to range. Stop loss of the low, the 5. Or it would shift here. And we're targeting liquidity high. There's Asia. There's New York. Well, New York AM is way up here. We did not get that. So Asia was the play. We follow the higher low structure. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And potentially you got stopped here, right? Or if you took the shift from up here. So this was 5.54%. Even if you got stomped out way down here, it's still over 3%, which is a good play, in my humble opinion, for risk to reward. You know, one of the biggest things people do, man, is they get a good entry and they just think it's going to keep going. And 7 times out of 10, 70% of the time, it does not. It turns around and comes and gets you. We've been watching gold. Gold's breaking out. FTNT green. FTNT. Am I looking at this right? 40 net. Let's zoom it out for even entertaining longs here. I love a good SFP at a low. Weekly SFP. So this still looks like a daily bear flag to me, unfortunately. So range high, range low is in. Or excuse me, week high, weekly high, weekly low is in. Well, let's see if we can get a foot pull from the bottom of the last. Let's see if we're in a nice support zone. We're in good support here at the golden pocket. So I'm not hating the bounce zone. It's pretty natural. Our curve is in. Let's zoom into the daily. We are rejecting off the daily 100 right now. That is not ideal. We have a gap fill to the bottom, so excuse to come right back down here for this fill. I mean, pattern's bearish to me, right? You know, if you're long from below here, you know, especially if this SFP, that would be the long indicator, right? And if you're hoping that this long holds for this break, you know, it's going to look something like this. And potentially claw back to this gap way up here. And then we get the continuation phase. So if this holds and starts coming back up, I would say the target's the high. And then potentially further breakout. I don't know anything about this company. Just being super transparent about that. Let's see what the 4 hour tells me. I mean, technically a intraday 4 hour break here. Still oversold, but not breaking the high. Yeah, this is dangerous. If you're long, I mean, maybe you hold for a break even, maybe take some profits, but you got to break over $87.66 for me to have a continuation here. Right, so my play would be more like this. Either I took the long down here and I'm holding for this sort of higher high formation to come in, or I wait until this breaks, back tests, and then continues. I don't hate it. This rejection here from getting back into the auction soundly is not ideal, right? So like previous auction resistance was here. Like we got the break structure on the 4 here. Hotkey's bad. There we go. 4 hour. We turn this into support. We turn this into support. We lost support. Reach for liquidity. Could not hold support again. And now we're kind of just stuck below this, right? Reached again. Still stuck below this. So getting soundly above even 83 bucks is going to be the bull case. And then breaking 87. I think if the broader market sells off, you know, it comes down. If the broader market just bounces, it continues up. Oh, I thought I had NAS right here. It's S&P. There we go. So, I mean, it looks just like SPY. It's fighting that all-time high. What's daily look like? So we broke daily high, fighting for that SFP. Never came down for previous day low. And curve's kind of already set up for the downside supply chain. All right, so what has happened here? Again, this is... I just feel so bearish when they're oversold like this. But they just keep ripping. But look at this straight up. Bearish divergence all the way up. Look at volume coming out of NASDAQ here. Rolling downhill. Price just wailing itself to the upside. So does volume come back into the market here? Right? Even volumes are rolling downhill here as well. Does volume break back into the market and we just break higher on the weekly? Or on the daily? Oh, that's the weekly. I'm sorry. And we break resistance we've set up. We do have a daily break structure to the downside. And the daily break structure to the upside would be the curve going up, right? So this is the BOS. If we can't get above 25,875, I mean, we're just looking for this to roll over and break this next to the next daily low. Right? And then the next daily low. And then we look for some strength. One of these lines up with a weekly. Actually, they both line up with weekly lows. So probably both decently strong levels. But if we're in the look, I don't try to be the bear, right? This is why I like crypto, because why I like Bitcoin in general, not necessarily all crypto, but it gives me big moves every day. You know, there's just been some real tight consolidation on these indexes that I can't really get into with my system. But where's the last breakout? But way down here at 16. How big of a dump is that? Is that like a nasty 35%? Jeez. I mean, look. Break a structure, extrapolation high to low. There's your bear case. Has it been doing that? Has it had a 35% correction quite literally in months? Years? No. So somewhere it's just going to find and probably just repump. Every Friday. Every other Friday. But it's been moving sideways for the first time here on these higher time frames in a while, right? Just follow the structure here. So here's your 4-hour low, higher low, break a structure for a new, that holds the strong low. And then here's a lower high, lower high, lower high. And did we get another lower high right here? So order flow for me is between here and here, right? I would assume this comes down and checks this again just because order flow says so. And then maybe we get a bounce and just come right back up. But the thing with these indexes, man, and the amount of volume they get in New York session is just a 15-minute invalidation could change the whole thing, right? So again, on the 15-minute instead of the 4-hour, you're just following these higher lows the whole way up. And that's all we've done. We've not shifted one time, right? And here's the current high. Here's the 15-minute high. So at this point in time, we're fighting between here and here. Do we get the shift? Give me the trade idea. Let the trade idea come. Break structure to the downside. Fill the imbalance, which it just did, probably on the 5 for us. Yeah. So break structure to the downside. Fill the imbalance. So here's your fair value gap. Fill the imbalance and then continue the way order flow suggested, which would be down. So easy invalidation above the high. So you had a short indicator here for entry after filling and not breaking through. What's up, brother from Ghana? Hey man, we will, depends on what your shtick is, brother, but I mean, we trade live every single day in Discord. We've got one-on-one mentorship available if that's something that really gets for you. Or you can just join the premium sections. Ask as many charting questions as you want over in the chart channel and be available for the weekly trainings. I also have a learning library over there, but if you want to trade absolutely for free or how we trade, traders.com. Free to sign up, free liquidity courses, free system of how we trade. And that NZ play still fucking, oops, should not be custom for TikTok. But NZ still pumping. We had Sol over here. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting the bounce from the natural level here. Be nice to get a weekend breakout on crypto. I guess my interest would be with the traditional markets correcting a little bit and crypto gets a little bit of that liquidity and pumps and the cycle kind of flips over. What is this song? Let's check and see if we got that 4-hour break. We did not, dude. It just SFP. Just the 1 hour. Hopefully the 1 hour continues up. Here's kind of the thoughts. If you chop sideways, continue to accumulate, and then head up and over. We do not want to give it back. But you guys see how these models work, right? Shift structure. The shift was here. Claw back fair value. Continue. Shift the structure. Claw back fair value. Continue. Just patience, brothers. Patience. Let's take a peek back at our gold play. Got over and then hit resistance. Our short is in play. It almost stopped me out. Yeah, this could give Bitcoin, if this sells off, this could be what gives crypto its run. And it could be like here if you zoom out, right? It's just CDW of previous daily high. SFP, previous daily high. Or excuse me, that's 4 hour. Not previous daily. Whew, that's dangerous. Don't want to make that mistake too much. Right into the fair value. Let's take a peek at some of our other larger swing plays here. Clear Sky getting the bounce finally. Man, that weekly looks weak. Man, Riven just selling off. Look at that silver chart, man. This is ridiculous. Oil looks like it wants to go. Man, look at natural gas. Beautiful break. Did Masters get the bounce today? It did not. Did Google get the bounce? It did. Or Meta, excuse me. Did PayPal get the bounce? It did not. I'm interested in picking up PayPal. I bought a little yesterday on the daily close. But that's because we're SFP in the weekly. Potentially. We gotta, if this week does not close above this, I'm just gonna cut it, but which is today. I could have waited for the weekly close instead of buying higher on the daily, but so I bought right here. Stop loss if we close below. But if you zoom out on this, PayPal's got a lot of room to the upside. Looks like an altcoin. Looks like a shit coin. But this is what we're looking for. We're looking for about 100 bucks. 115 bucks. Take this previous weekly high. And then I'm out. But it's a good move. It's almost 80%. Yeah, about 83%. This is at what? Like June of 17 lows, man. Like the .com boom here for not .com, the online payment boom. This is when Musk owned it. Yeah, it's been giving stuff back since 2021, the COVID dump. It's never recovered. Well, that's a lie. March 2020 was COVID dump. This was when the stimulus printed. But the stimulus high, it's never recovered from. Hope here is this holds. And we get a bull div, right? So weekly bullish, hidden bullish divergence. So weekly puts in a slight lower high. Helps if I grab the right arrow. Weekly puts in a slight lower high. Taking liquidity from the previous weekly candle, our volume puts in a bullish divergence with a higher high. And then we get the bounce. And the volume drive. And we got this nice cupping action here on the weekly as well. Scooping us up. Yeah, nice liquidations here on the weekly. All right, guys, we've been going about 2 hours here. I'm going to wrap it up and get some food. And I got a big snowstorm coming tomorrow. So I got like 2 feet of snow coming. Again, hop over into Discord. Join us over in the community. The general chat's popping for all you free folks. If you're serious about becoming a day trader and you want to know what it takes, the hard truth, not the soft truth, not the spoon fed, check us out over on Premium. Later, guys.